First, we're going to learn about the G protein pathway. Um, got a little membrane here. Terrible membrane, but a membrane nonetheless. Alright, now we're going to have these messenger proteins called ligands, and they are going to attach to this receptor, or in this case the G protein. And when that happens, when the ligand will connect to the G protein has these subunits connected to it. And this first subunit, called the alpha subunit, will phosphorylate off of the G protein and connect to the adenosine kinase protein. And what it'll do from there is it will take ATP and it will convert it into what most people call these CAMP molecules or proteins. Now, what these CAMP proteins are, they're considered messenger proteins, secondary messenger proteins, which are just basically a messenger protein within the cell, within the cytoplasm. And what they will do is they will connect to this protein inside the cell, which has two sides to it. One side is the catalytic side. I don't think I spelled that right, but it's okay. And the regulatory side. Now, these CAMP molecules or proteins will connect to the regulatory side, and when that happens, the proteins will break apart, and you have the catalytic proteins off by themselves, and they will combine with this ATP, they will combine with the ATP and then go into this phosphorylase, and then from there the phosphorylase will go into glycosine. And then basically what happens from there is this glycosine will travel outside the cell and form glucose. And that is the G protein pathway. Alright, now we're going to learn about the kinase pathway. And it's sort of like the G protein pathway. Same thing. You've got these ligands that will attach itself to these receptors. And as you notice, these receptors have these little attachments on them, which are called tyrosine. And what happens when these ligands connect themselves to the receptors, they will come together and form what we call a dimer. And then from there, here, let me draw on the ligands here. And then from there, ATP will come in. Once again, can't get rid of it. ATP will come in and it will lose one of its phosphates. So then you've got ADP plus this P. Now this phosphate will go and attach itself to the three on each side of this dimer. Now, what happens when they attach is these inactive relay proteins will come and connect to these phosphates, and you can do 6 at once, obviously. And what happens is, well, when they connect, you'll get a cellular response depending on the protein, and in this case it's going to cause a cellular response of cell growth. And that is a simple version of the kinase pathway. Alright, now we're going to learn about ion channel receptors. What we have here is, right here is an ion channel. And they basically work like a gate to keep things in and out of the cell. And in this example, I'm just going to use sodium trying to get into this cell. Now, over here, we have a closed one. And as you can see, they just kind of bounce off and don't really go anywhere. They're still outside the cell. And then this one, what you have is you have a ligand connected to it. And that's like its own button to, or its sign to open up, and these sodium molecules can travel inside the cell when needed. And it can work that way, and it can work in the reverse way, where when a ligand is attached, these sodium proteins can't get in and they just bounce off. And there again, here they just travels through the cell when there's no ligand attached to it. And that is the basic idea to ion channel receptors. Alright, and what you just learned about is cell communication part 3 in AP Biology, and this is by Chad, which is me. And I would just like to apologize for all my misspellings, and if I said any words wrong, I do apologize.